One thing that 2020 has really taught me is that less is more, especially when it comes to what we put in our body. Have you ever heard of the saying, you are what you eat? Well, it might actually be true. My friend Jessie gave me a Korean cookbook right before Thanksgiving and recommended I watch the Chef's Table episode with Korean monk Jeong Kwang. I will link the episode below for all of you to watch. So since this video is inspired by Korean temple food, I wanted to share with you guys a very clean, tasty, and simple recipe that shouldn't take more than 20 minutes. It is very important in Korean temple food to use ingredients that are local and in season, which makes me daydream about the day that I can have my own garden to grow my own veggies. Does anyone maybe have a garden I can use in LA? We're going to need a big plate of fresh spinach today. These leafy greens are full of iron, vitamin A and C. And look at this beautiful kabocha squash. This is one of my favorite vegetables. And now, this is one of Mac's favorite foods to eat. Shiitake mushrooms. His mom used to make it for him while he was growing up. So these are typical ingredients you can find in the fall. And all you need to recreate this braised mushroom recipe from Chef Jeong. The Buddhist diet is 100% plant-based and perfect for vegetarians. I've heard that only on rare occasions they use dairy. So for protein we're using tofu today. We also need sesame oil and molasses. But if you don't have molasses, you can use maple syrup and don't forget the soy sauce. You're also going to need water and an ingredient I've never used before called perilla seed oil. I will link it down below. It's something used a lot in Korean cuisine because of its amazing nutty flavor. Let's start preparing this yummy dish. What I loved most about the approach the monks took towards food was not only to be mindful while you eat, but to also be present during cooking. And this reminds me of my morning routine with matcha mindfulness. I find cutting and prepping to be such a meditative experience. The sounds make me so calm. So step 1. Start cutting the kabocha squash in half and remove all the seeds with a spoon. Once the seeds are gone, start cutting them in smaller pieces like this. There are actually 5 ingredients that are not used in Korean temple food. And they are garlic, onions, green onions, leeks, and chives. These foods can make it hard to focus, and from what I read, they call these foods the 5 pungent vegetables. Can anyone tell me if this is true? Monks used a lot of fermented foods and very clean homemade sauces for flavor. Now set your kombuchas aside while we continue the prep of the mushrooms. Mushrooms are such a beautiful, delicate vegetable and they're rich in vitamin B. Now remove all the stems one by one and give the mushrooms a quick rinse to clean them. Now put them into a plate or with a towel to soak up the water. Then get your tofu and carefully slice them into small pieces. The prep is so simple. Are you guys ready to cook? So this is my new thing to use in the kitchen, a bamboo steamer. Add the mushrooms into the bamboo steamer and let them steam for a couple of minutes. This was my first time using one and I can't wait to use it more often for vegetables, and maybe when Jessie gets back we can learn how to make dumplings. If you don't have one, you can steam it above a pan. Or if you have a steam mode in your oven, you're in luck. So once the mushrooms are soft and ready, transfer them to a plate. I'm adding the kombucha squash into the steamer and I'm going to let this sit for 15 minutes. This is the easiest and healthiest way that I prepare vegetables. I will start using this more for my meal preps. Make sure you have another pan ready to make the braised mushrooms. Add 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of gluten-free soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of perilla seed oil, and wait until the mixture is boiling. Once boiling, add the mushrooms and let it cook until half the sauce is absorbed into the mushroom. Let's check on our kombucha. It should be soft and tender, ready to be taken out. While the mushrooms are cooking in the sauce, we're going to make the sautéed spinach with tofu. Add olive oil to the pan on a medium heat. Once the pan is warm, add the cubed tofu and cook each side for 2 minutes until you have an even golden brown color. Add the spinach and mix it together with the tofu. Add about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and stir for about 2 minutes and take it off the heat. Look at these. The mushrooms have absorbed most of the liquid, so we're adding 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Stir until the mushrooms have a beautiful shiny coat and then remove the pan from the heat. It's ready to be plated. Add 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil onto the braised mushrooms to finish the taste. Add 1 big spoon of brown rice, which I prepared in my rice cooker. Add a kabocha squash, some protein and vegetables. And don't forget your braised mushrooms. This is such a tasty, balanced meal, and it's finished in less than 20 minutes. Delicious flavorful ingredients. I can only imagine what it must be like to experience Jeong Kwang's cooking. I hope someday I have the chance to visit her temple. Did we learn anything today? The idea behind Korean temple food is that with clean ingredients and careful preparation, you can achieve a clean body, which gives you a clean mind. Now, share your thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you haven't seen this episode on Chef's Table, I highly recommend you watch him and try this recipe for yourself. Let's have a chat in the comments today. Thank you for all of you.